All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Ferretti here. Tomorrow we've got the Project Car Challenge Day 3 coming up. You'll find out who won and who's going to the Nürburgring. But today, we're talking about John Cena again. And some of you may know who John Cena is from my previous video. Others may know him just because he's a famous wrestler. However, John Cena was the first person to sort of get in a fight with Ford about flipping the Ford GT. And when I say flipping, he got selected to purchase the Ford GT, signed some documents with them, and then when he bought the car for $460,000, turned around and resold it for more money. That more money is still not yet defined, but given the numbers that I've heard, I would estimate anywhere between $750,000 and maybe as much as $1 million, especially with a celebrity owner. So that number is not quantified yet, but let's talk a little bit about the process, because now we're in the legal battle. And the legal battle, you never want to be in the legal battle. The legal battle sucks on all fronts. But John Cena's defense is that he did not violate any contract because, and lawyers suck, let me just say that. I'll give you what's ultimately going to happen here. But he did not violate any contract because the contract that he signed when he picked up his car, which was the purchase contract of the vehicle, did not state that he was not able to resell the vehicle. That's his defense. He may have signed other things with Ford. However, he is going to segregate and say, this is my purchase contract. Those are other documents. Now, I've mentioned it before. I don't understand how you can tell somebody they're buying something from you. If you're pricing it at what you believe market conditions or market value is, you can't control if somebody resells something. If they purchase something from you, you give them the title and they sell it. You just do what Ferrari does. You just don't sell them another one. But you can't say, you know what, that was wrong, I'm going to sue you. Because you're selling a consumer something at a agreed upon value. You're transferring ownership. If you didn't want to transfer ownership, if you wanted to let them use it and hold it for a couple of years, the solution is to lease it to said customer. We will provide the title. After your 2-year lease, we will have a $1 buyout. The problem with that is that Ford will, or whoever does that, will not receive all the money up front unless it was a weird balloon lease where you give $400,000 up front and you make payments for the additional $60,000. I don't know how the structure would work. However, if you really wanted to not have somebody sell something, you have to continue to own it. If they try to sell it, you are the lien holder. You will then take it back. I'm sorry, I can't transfer title to you. I will take the car back and I will sell it to somebody else. And now you are in control. They don't do that. They sell the cars the same way Ferrari sells the cars. They don't want to take the risk as to what the car is going to be worth in 2 years. They sell it, they relinquish ownership of it, and you are technically free to do what you would like. If you do sell it and profit or lose money on it, it's not really Ford's problem. Think about that. What if the market was below what John Cena sold it for? What if he bought it for $460 and sold it for $400? Is Ford going to be like, sorry about that, we'll give you the 60 grand? No, it's only that he made a profit that they are taking issue. So the larger problem here is, the focus of this issue is now it's a legal battle. And now Ford is going to allege or argue that the purchase was not just one document. The purchase comprised of a process and several documents. It comprised of an application process, acceptance, documents that he signed that said he wouldn't sell the vehicle, and then the end of that, he also signed a purchase contract to transfer the asset. That is the documentation that constitutes the sale in Ford's mind. It's now up to a judge to say, no, I either agree with Ford or I agree with John Cena that whatever he may have signed, or his lawyers, whatever he may have signed is irrelevant. The only purchase document, the only thing that says purchase document and the legalese in that document says this is the transfer of ownership, doesn't mention you're not allowed to sell it. He may side with John Cena. Now, the repercussions from this will be fairly significant, because the repercussions will be maybe everybody else sitting on their Ford GT will be like, you know, I don't really want this thing. Sell it and make a couple of $100,000, and that'll do some weird effect to the Ford GT market. But maybe he'll side with Ford, and now other manufacturers will turn around and start suing their customers. If Ford wins this, how many sales that have been done in whatever the statute of limitations were, say the last 6 years, of people, Ferrari just said, you know what, I'm not going to do business with that guy again. Maybe Ferrari goes and files 300 lawsuits, 800 lawsuits against people that sold their cars that they weren't supposed to sell their cars, that they just said, we're not going to sell to these guys anymore. Now, as a matter of course, if somebody gives you money for something, you probably don't want to sue them. It's just not really good. And you don't want to sue a celebrity either. Because if you're suing a celebrity, that's now sort of negative PR. And you have now a big company and celebrity both battling it out. It doesn't look good for anybody. And what ends up happening here is there's no real winner. What I think is going to happen is effectively both sides, John Cena and Ford, will spend, let's just say, $75,000 to $100,000 per side in the legal battle. It'll draw out for 6 months, 8 months, a year, year and a half. And it will end up either settling, which a lot of them do. They won't actually go to trial for a decision. Or if they do settle, then it's just going to be nobody wins. The lawyers win. These guys settle. John Cena will probably split the money he made off of it. They'll both pay their legal fees. So let's just say, for argument's sake, he profited $400,000 off the car, $300,000. Let's just say he sold it for $750,000. He made $300,000, spends $100,000 on legal, owes half of that $300,000, so $150,000 to Ford. He's going to have now spent $250,000 of the $300,000 that he made in profit, and he's going to make $50,000 and have a whole shit ton of headache. That's not fun by any stretch. Or you're going to have this wide-reaching decision that's potentially going to reverberate through the auto industry and throw a lot of people a lot of headaches. And that's if the other manufacturers want to go down that road. But I just don't get it. This is a solvable problem. Why make people sign documents when essentially all you have to do is very simply don't sell somebody the car if you don't want them to sell it. Lease it to them. And you could lease it to them with a $1 buyout. It's going to be a $450,000 initial deposit and then a $10,000 lease. And at the end of the 2 years, you'll transfer the title. There's creative ways you could do that. If somebody wants the asset, they'll play the game. They're not going to be like, well, what if you don't take it back at the end of the lease or something like that? They're not going to expect those games to happen. So where do we stand? Like, what is going to happen here? Probably a settlement, and it may settle sooner, it may settle later. But I don't think the argument, it's actually, you know what? That's the problem with law. I don't know which argument is going to win. If it is a purchase process or a purchase document that the judge is going to say is legally binding in this situation. Because he did sign a document saying he wouldn't sell the car. But he also signed a purchase document, which was part of the same asset transaction. So where do you draw the line? And I guess that's what we're going to pay attention to. You know, anytime you go legal, it sucks. It's going to be a long, expensive, drawn-out process. The only saving grace is Ford probably has lawyers on retainer, which means this is just another thing. That means that they have in-house counsel effectively, that they pay $5 million a year in legal, and they deal with all the cases. So if they give them 100 cases or 2 cases, it's the same cost. And John Cena, same thing. I don't know if he has in-house counsel. However, he may have a lawyer that just wants to get his name out there, or doing it pro bono or for free or whatever it is. Or they may both just be dishing out money to argue. Ultimately, it's not a good exercise. We'll keep you in the loop as to what happens here. But my prediction is it's going to draw out for a while. Both parties are going to spend a lot of money. Both parties are going to settle. John Cena is going to kick a little money back to Ford. They're both going to walk away and not disclose the terms of the settlement agreement. And we'll be right back where we started, which is right here, saying nothing has changed. These guys sort of battled it out in public and made I don't want to say an ass out of themselves. Flying V, Canadian geese. That they made an ass out of themselves. And you never want a public fight over something as stupid as a transaction, you know? But it happens. Ford doesn't turn around and sue anyone that flips a Ford Focus RS. They didn't turn around and sue any GT350 people. I think it sets a rather dangerous and silly precedent to sue a Ford GT person. Be happy they're buying the cars. Honestly, I didn't think they would sell for $450,000. I'm apparently wrong. And even I see people like Ian Poulter, the golfer, just got a Ford GT now, or has at least got the ordering kit. So they're getting out there. They're going to people that Ford deems deserves them. And I'm going to say that. I don't think everybody necessarily got accepted when that process happened. I think they're accepting people on a rolling basis as to when they can realistically produce the car. I don't think they want to accept somebody and let them lose interest or lose them. So now they're just going through the list. All right, accept 50 people because we can produce 50 cars in the next 3 months. All right, accept another 50, accept another 50. And that's why you didn't hear 500 names come out of the woodworks and say, guess who's getting the Ford GT, bitches? Because otherwise you would have had more than that, I think. So there you have it. If you cared, now you have an update with the John Cena situation in Ford. I predicted where I think it's going to go. I will give you one last update as this is resolved and tell you what happens. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow for the Project Car Challenge, which is going to be a good one, I promise. It's going to be longer than my usual videos. It was hard to cram everything into sub 20 minutes, but we're looking like 25 right now.